everyone, welcome to another episode on my podcast, Monday Morning Muse. How's March treating you so far? I hope it's good, and if it's otherwise, I hope you have the power to get through it with a smile. Let me start this episode with a question. How many of you know your best friend's number without looking into your phone? Let me tell you a funny yet awkward incident that happened to me very recently. After I got married, I consider my husband's pockets my depository, and most of the time, my phone will be with him. And one fine day, we were in the hospital for my son's vaccination. Usually, I run behind my son, and my husband takes care of the appointment part, but this time it was vice versa. And the receptionist asked me for the registered mobile number. That's my husband's. And I stood there muttering 949396. And finally, after a few attempts, I got the first four digits right. Yay! Then I went blank. My husband gave me a look that actually translated into words. How long have we been married? I laughed it off, but then I realized, where are we heading to? A point where we won't be able to remember even the emergency contacts without the 6-inch device. And not to boast, I used to remember my bestie's numbers without having a mobile. And now I have to search for numbers like my mom, my dad, my husband, who are apparently my emergency contacts. Nowadays, mobile phones have become an integral part of our lives. So much that we cannot do with it. And I do agree mobile phones has its own advantages. We can reach anyone at any point in time, and it's a boon in times of emergency. And we have the data around the globe in our fingertips. The communication has improved so much, again, across the globe. We can see our loved ones on FaceTime or video calls whenever we wish to. We have all that we need in a day in this device. Our loved ones' chats, travel apps for mobility, payment apps for the digital India, social media platforms, movie platforms. These are a few of the many that I can think of right now. And though it has made our lives comfortable and convenient, let's see how the same advantages now. It used to be our sweet and simple lives before. Accessibility. It is an advantage to you in terms of your loved ones, but the same accessibility is a problem when you wish to have some little private time for you, doesn't it? Like how my parents or my husband or my family, they can reach me anytime. My boss or some unknown random loan provider, he can reach me too. And that too sometimes even before I wake up. Information on fingertips. Yes, but how many of us have spent our childhood solving crosswords and sudokus? I used to wait for sudokus, and they're still available in the phone. But pen, paper, eraser, these are emotions. Turning the pages and breathing in the scent of a newspaper to read the sports column, or the Metro Plus additional magazine of the Hindu, sipping a cup of coffee by the porch and reading a newspaper, these were all common scenes in every household. So much that my grandpa and my father used to wait for the newspaper boy to swing the paper on the porch every morning. And after ages, I saw and admired my father in law read two newspapers every day. That's his routine in the morning before he starts his day, even now. Movie platforms. I think the last movie I saw in theater was before the pandemic. Until then, I used to watch at least one movie a week or at least one movie a month. Now I have a baby for whom the screens are prohibited, but given an opportunity, I would still go to the theater. The smell of fresh butter popcorns with a variety of flavorings, our Chennai's pride Satyam Theatre and their brownies, amazing hot chocolates, the nachos of PVR, these welcome you the minute you step in. And trust me, There were movies which were made bearable because of these munchies. A group of friends to laugh at the most silliest scene, that vibe is something which a Netflix, a Prime, a Hotstar, or any movie platform can never match. And I must speak of the payment apps. How many of us carry a wallet? Wait. Wallet with cash. I carry a purse. But you could hardly find 100 rupees in that after I started using these payment platforms. From the granny selling flowers to the uncle selling apples, from the auto annas to the airport lounges, it's digitalized everywhere. And my amazing time worked when I was in an auto. The digital platform crumbled and my GPay didn't work. I didn't have money for a share auto. 10 rupees, believe me. And I had to borrow from a kind fellow passenger who didn't want to waste time waiting for me. From that day onwards, I have cash in my wallet. And talking of childhood, how many of you ran back home from school to watch your favorite cartoon on the Cartoon Network? I used to eat spinach just because Popeye the Sailor ate it. And I used to wait for Heidi to live her simple and beautiful life, even if it was on my imaginations. And it's needless to mention on the vacations. It was mostly in my mom's native, in the ancestral house, where the entire cousins clan stayed and played around for the entire 2 months. And I used to wait for the next year to get these beautiful 2 months again. I had my childhood friend with whom I'm still in touch. And we used to sit on the terrace and we gossiped about what happened in each other's class that day. Do our children get this nowadays? And can this be matched to the costliest toy or even the most updated tab with games we give them? It's hard to go back to an era without mobiles. I agree. But we can restrict our usage, maybe? As per a recent statistics I read, on an average, people spend around 5 to 6 hours of screen time for internet related activities, while the actual suggested screen time outside your work hours is just 1 or 2 hours. And most of our times it goes scrolling Facebook, Insta, YouTube, Shorts, and Reels. As per a study done by the National Institute of Health, children who spent more than 2 hours a day on screen time activities, they scored lower on language and thinking tests. And some children with more than 7 hours a day of screen time, they experienced thinning of the brain's cortex. That's the area of the brain associated with critical thinking and reasoning. Not just kids, adults are at risk too. Excessive screen time, it's linked with so many issues like obesity, insomnia and sleep disturbances, depression, eye ache, headache, and reduced physical activities. It'll go to the extreme of even cardiovascular diseases. It's scary, right? Like I said, we can never put away with screens and technology completely. But let's see what we can do to reduce the usage. Get up and move yourself. Even if you're in your office, every 30 minutes, just take 2 to 5 minutes and walk around. If you're attending personal calls from home, head to open spaces like terrace. Just walk and talk. It works as an exercise, plus you get the fresh air. Include workouts as a part of your routine. Just make 30 minutes for yourself. Get rid of FOMO. I used to go to FB, Insta, news, and I used to refresh every 30 minutes. That was kind of a FOMO, a fear of missing out on something and not staying updated. You can limit your catch up time to 30 minutes in a day, and that time you make sure you check on everything. You can even set a timer so that you don't lose track of time checking on your updates. Turn off the notification. One of my best friend, she used to change her phone from smartphone to a normal old school phone during her exams. Even if we can't go to that extent, we can at least still turn off the notifications and then focus on stuff that's actually important. The notifications, they'll still reach you. Don't worry. Wherever you are, you're not going to miss out on any of them. The moment you switch it on, the notifications will reach you. And stop checking your phone the minute you wake up. Try to keep the phone not anywhere near you while sleeping. And there were times when I used to sleep only by scrolling. And sometimes my phone would hit my nose. But after I started going for work, I don't get to scroll now. And I fall asleep the minute I hit the bed. But if you still have that habit, try to stop. Keep your phone away from your reach. It just not has impacts on your sleep, but it also impacts your health, your eyes, with all the blue rays and all the radiation. And when you wake up, don't search for your phone immediately. Wake up with good positive thoughts and affirmations, drink water, plan your day, and then later you can search for your phone and check for your updates. Practice screen free hour a day and screen free day a week or at least a month. Try staying away from your phones at least 1 hour in a day. Go to your terrace, put on your sneakers, hit the road, walk around, enjoy the scenes around you, take in some fresh air. This 1 hour, it'll have a positive impact on your mind and your body. And try for one day in a week to stay screen free. If one day a week is too much for an ask, try one day a month. Begin with one day a month at least. And it can be done. It's not so difficult. And I heard someone say, spend time with people who make you forget checking on your phone. That made sense. And finally, find a hobby for yourself. Be it reading books, gardening, tailoring, pottery, artwork. So many are there right now. And if you want to enter into fitness, yoga, Zumba, gym, whatever you like, it should just keep you engrossed that you forget to check your phone. Like I said, we cannot live entirely without a mobile. It's now part of our lives. But if we can restrict its usage and make sure that we effectively use it, it's always a boon and never a bane. Thank you for listening, everyone, and I hope you liked it. Request you to subscribe, like, and pin your comments on this episode. I will be back again next Monday with another episode of Monday Morning Muse. Until then, spread peace, take care, and lots of love.